Hey guys, it's the Cloth here, and today inside this Monster Legends video, we are going to be finding out who the best YouTuber monster is. So for this video, we are only going to be looking at Doomsday YouTubers, Metropolitan YouTubers, and Blossom YouTubers. Just because the one that I want to end with in this video is going to be one that can actually compete in today's meta. So that is be able to like compete with Blossom Mythics. And of course, we aren't going to be looking at all of them because a lot of them are just complete garbage, which honestly, I feel like most of the Doomsday ones are, so we might just cut out Doomsday. We might only look at like one. But yeah, there are a couple of good Metropolitan ones. I don't want to say good, but they're at least decent. And then there's some good Blossom ones. And then we're going to find out who the best is and who you can actually use on your team. So yeah, let's just go ahead and get right into it. The first one we are going to look at is probably going to be MrNotFound. Actually, no, he's in Metropolitan, so we'll save him for a little later. The first one we're going to look at is probably either Bionic or McCreamy. We'll start off with McCreamy. Alright, so I do remember McCreamy having some heals, which are cool. Yeah, he has heals. He actually has negative effect removal and positive effect removal, which are both very good. But if he doesn't have AoE, that can be a problem. Oh, it is an AoE positive effect removal. That's actually a really good move. I actually didn't know he had that. And it has stamina leak. So yeah, he's actually pretty decent, not gonna lie. But his problems are, oh yeah, his trait is really bad, isn't it? Yeah, he only has self double healing, which isn't good, and immune to stun and freeze just aren't good either. And yeah, he doesn't have any revives or anything, which a lot of supports at that time did actually have revives to help your team once they had died. So yeah, just a not very good monster, but he's honestly not as bad as I remember, just because he has negative effect removal and positive effect removal. And of course he has heals, double life, and stamina regen. And by the way, I really do think that McCreamy deserves higher than an E in the ranking. I think he should at least be a C, just because he has positive effect and negative effect removal. Alright, so this guy Bionic, his trait is hardened, stun immunity, and team life regen, which are pretty decent. I mean, they're not as bad as McCreamy's. Alright, so he has amazing stats, good relic slots, access to a nanovirus, which nanovirus is very good. And then he has both earth and metal attacks and low cooldowns, which are decent. I wouldn't really worry about low cooldowns though. His cons are bland move pool. Yeah, he doesn't have very good moves. I remember that. And he's weak against anticipation, and he has a really bad trait, which honestly his trait again isn't as bad as McCreamy's, but it's still pretty bad. Alright, so he doesn't have really any high damage moves except for this one, and it only does daze. It doesn't do any other status effects, and it doesn't really even do that much damage, to be honest. So yeah, he just doesn't have very many good moves really. He's got some extra turns, but they're not too good. I mean, this one has nanovirus, which is cool, but again, it's just not very good. So yeah, I guess we're just going to move on to the next place. I guess we're going to Metropolitan next. Alright, so who should we start with? Oh, we got a lot of F tiers, so I don't even think we're gonna look at these. Super Dream is unfortunately very bad. If you like Dream, he's just not good. You could use like any other monster and it would be better. Same with Satman and Jacksepticeye, unfortunately. I do wish that Jacksepticeye was better because he is a pretty cool YouTuber. But unfortunately, he is just kind of bad. Alright, let's go ahead and scroll up. We got MrNotFound, which is GeorgeNotFound. He is actually pretty good. I did want to look at him. So one of his cons is that he has a really bad trait though. He has freeze immunity, blind immunity, and possession immunity, which are all just not good. But let's go and look at his other pros and cons. He can apply 3 weaknesses, which honestly weaknesses are not good really, I would say. So I don't think that really matters. And he does have good speed, which is good, but it's not as good as Blossom Mythics, so that doesn't really matter either. He's got some good relic slots, access to positive effect removal, which I do remember, which is pretty good. And then he's got some good abilities in negative effect removal, drawn precision, immune to blind, and double damage. So he's actually pretty much just the monster that we just looked at. I think it was McCreamy. Yeah, McCreamy, but better. So none of the Doomsday Mythics are going to be that good. I'm just going to exit out of that tab. So yeah, he's like McCreamy, but better, which is pretty cool. He's still not amazing though, but he's definitely pretty good. Now let's go and move on to Blossom Mythics, unless there's another Metro Mythic we need to look at. I don't think Phase Rug was that good at all. I did not like him, so I'm not even going to look at him. And it doesn't look like there are any other YouTuber monsters. So let's go into Blossom era. Alright, so MrBeast Eco is pretty good. I can go ahead and take a look at him for a second. He's got really good power. He's got some nice raw damage. Just he has all around really high damaging moves, which is really nice, especially for an attacker. And he has some good relic slots, and he also has some good support moves like double damage, damage boost, stamina regen, and team life regen. The only problem is he doesn't have very many tortures. He actually only has 1, and his regen can of course be countered, and he's easily denied because he has a terrible trait again. What is it with YouTuber monsters always getting bad traits. They really need to start giving YouTuber monsters better traits, in my opinion, because this is kind of getting old. But yeah, overall, pretty decent monster. I wouldn't say he's bad necessarily. And then the last monster we're going to look at is Forge Labs. He's a brand new one, and he's actually really good in my opinion. So I honestly can't remember what he is supposed to be. I think he's a support. We actually don't know his trait set, so we are kind of going off of not very much, but we can actually see his full moveset, so we do have that. Alright, so he does have a really good moveset. I actually really like his moveset. I do think that it is the best out of all of the YouTuber monsters. He has a lot of heals. He actually has a 100% heal, I believe. And then he has triple damage and ally negative effect removal, which is very good. And he's got regen, he's got damage reduction, which is good. And yeah, he's just an all-around really great monster. He's a really great support monster. But without his trait, I don't think I can rank him that high. So I'm not going to give him the best spot. I'm going to give that to MrBeast Eco. But it most definitely will go to Forge Labs once we find out what his trait is. Well, I guess that depends on what his trait is, but I'm pretty sure he'll be the best. So yeah, it's definitely either Forge Labs or MrBeast Eco for now until they release more Blossom era YouTubers. So yeah, that is going to be it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Let me know down in the comments which monster you think is the best, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.